And welcome into another edition of It's Talladega. In case you're watching our program for the first time, this program is designed to talk about all the good things that's going on in and around Talladega, the city that's open for business. And we've been fortunate through the years to have a variety of guests. We've had singers, we've had attorneys, we've had politicians, we've had business folks, and a lot of different professional people. And we appreciate those who have seen fit to come on here to talk about all the good things going on in Talladega. It's people like those folks who help make Talladega what it is. And if you know someone out there that you would like to see on our program, who would like to be a guest on our program, all you gotta do is get in touch with me and we will be honored to have them as a guest. We're fortunate today to have a long-time Talladegan, Miss Eryn Stockdale. Miss Eryn is she's been in the news a lot lately. She's been in the newspaper, she's been on our TV show, and she's got a scholarship to the Navy. She's also a cheerleader for the naval football team. And Miss Eryn, it's an honor to have you back with us today.
It's an honor to be here.
I understand you're home on a leave.
Yes, sir.
After all the ball games. Y'all were fortunate, y'all won.
Won the Pontiac Bowl. And beat Army.
And beat Army. Probably could have beat Alabama and Auburn the way they played recently.
Oh yeah, now we want to see an SEC team.
The football season's over with.
Yes, sir.
You're still cheering for the basketball team.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about, let's digress a little bit and talk about Eryn Stockdale. I know that your folks Stanley and Wanda Scales and Maverick Stockdale, retired Army. Let's talk about Eryn though, just a little bit. You were born, we ain't gonna go into that, we ain't gonna tell how old you are. But you're a lifelong resident of Talladega.
Yes, sir.
Born in Talladega. Yes. Citizens Hospital.
Yes,
Almost.
sir. Citizens Hospital. Yes, sir.
Let's go from there, from what you remember forward. Let's talk about all the young days and where you went to school, elementary school, some of the likes and dislikes, and how you got involved in where you are today.
Well, I went to Pitter-Patter preschool.
Is that over in Knoxville area? Or West Side?
West Side.
West Side, okay.
Which I think is closed now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Makes me feel old. But I went to Pitter-Patter, and then I went to Graham Elementary School. I think it was then that I realized that I didn't like math, but I do like science. I went to Zora Ellis Middle School and Talladega High School.
You graduated, 2 years ago?
Yes, sir, 2013.
2013. You were fortunate, I don't know where you're fortunate now, you didn't have Miss Zora Ellis. The school was named for Miss Zora Ellis, a long-term teacher there.
I had Mr. Bailey as my principal when I was there. Miss
Zora Ellis was a school teacher for 30, 35 years, maybe longer than that. And she was tough. If you was not making it in school, she would come in 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning and make you come to school early, and she'd work with you and help you get your lessons, especially the ball players. Make sure they could pass their tests so they could play ball.
Well, that's incredible.
But she was tough. How long did you go to Pitter-Patter School?
I think from the time I was about 2, almost 3 maybe, until I was 5 and ready to go to
There's a lot of folks who've gone through those schools, Pitter-Patter and
Oh yeah, I loved it. I did the summer program every year from like maybe 2nd grade, 3rd grade, all the way up until I was too old to go. So about middle school age. And
you went to Graham Elementary?
Yes, sir.
6 years?
6 years.
Then you went to?
Well, 7, because we had 6th grade there.
Okay.
Too.
Then you went to Zora Ellis?
Yes, sir.
When I was in school, back in the dark ages, Zora Ellis school was the high school. I believe I'm telling you right.
You had Dixon, too.
Dixon was the 7th and 8th grade, and then Zora Ellis was the 9th through the 12th. It was a high school.
I didn't get to go to Dixon. They closed Dixon the year I was in 6th grade. So no, the year I was in 5th grade. So I never got to go to Dixon.
Right. It was the 7th and 8th grade at that time, and of course I remember some of the teachers of those days. But then you finished Talladega High School. When did you graduate from Talladega High School? In 2013. In high school, I know you played, or you was cheerleader.
I was a cheerleader for 3 years. I played basketball for 2 years. I played volleyball for 3 years, and I ran track for 3 years.
Did you do any studying during this time?
Yes, sir. I made all A's in high school, and I worked at Jack's for 2 years. So I was kind of busy.
Did you do any cooking, or your public relations out front, or did you?
Oh yeah,
do everything.
I can't cook.
You can't.
I was just a nice lady who took your order. So.
Well, they need those folks out front.
It was fun. It was a fun time.
Jack's, not Jack's for 2 years.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
they got a tremendous business in Talladega. The matter of fact, the main man over Jack's, he comes into the barbershop in Birmingham where I work sometimes, and I cut his hair. He's a super nice guy, and they've got stores everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
When did you, in high school, you made all A's, and all these other activities you're in. When did you decide that you wanted to get into the Navy or join the service?
I've always said I was going to join the service because my dad's retired Army. He did 23 years. And I didn't decide to go Navy until my 11th grade physics teacher, Dax McDonald, he was in the Navy. And I kept saying I was going to enlist, but I wanted to travel. So I was thinking Navy, and he was like, why would you enlist when you can go to the Naval Academy? You have it, you can go to the Naval Academy. And, so the fall of my senior year, I went for a candidate visit weekend. And I fell in love. Campus was great, the people were great, and it was something different.
This was in Maryland?
It's in Annapolis,
Maryland, yeah.
And it was, I don't know, it was a fit type thing. It just felt right.
On this tour, do they take you on the ship or introduce you to the?
Well, you get to go to class, and you get to see what a normal day in the life of a midshipman is like. And
this was before you actually joined?
Yes, sir. And they teach you everything you can major in and go through all the sports and everything you have to do, all of your military obligations, and then you kind of you get to visit just around campus. You don't get to go on the ship yet, but that's.
Did you ever have any apprehension about being in the Navy because of possibly being on the water? And a lot of folks can't stand water, can't handle water, seasick.
Well, every summer we do a tour.
I mean, prior to you joining the Navy.
Oh, prior.
Have you had any experience with water, deep sea fishing, or?
Well, fishing, but not too much. But I knew when I was going through all of the different things I could do in the Navy, before choosing the Naval Academy, I went through to the recruitment office in Oxford Mall, and they went through all of the possibilities. I could be on a ship, or you could be on a plane, or the Navy's just
multifaceted operation, I guess.
Oh yeah. You can do almost anything in the Navy.
When you enlisted, did you know what that you received a scholarship? You applied for a scholarship.
Yes, sir. When I got my appointment, it was after going through the whole application process, getting a congressional appointment, and after that, they send you. You have to go to plebe summer. And that's when you get your first dose of the Navy and the physical, the mental reconstruction, I guess you can say, from civilian to midshipman.
Try to break your spirit down and say you don't belong to the civilian line, no, you belong to us.
Kinda.
I'm your mama and your daddy and your granddaddy and your. That's sort of like that.
Sorta.
So I will be your mama and your daddy from here on out. For the next 6 weeks, how long basic? 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. To the young folks out there watching you, let me digress just for a second. We'll get back on the Navy. You graduated from high school. A lot of folks in our area are moving their boys and girls out of the high school and transfer them to Munford and to Lincoln and say that they can't get a good education. Well, you have proved them wrong.
The Talladega High School is everything you can make out of it. It's a great school to go to. And I don't think people give the faculty and staff enough credit for all that they are doing. And I wouldn't recommend anyone moving schools when you have a perfectly great school right here in your own city.
You can make of yourself whatever you want to, regardless of the situation.
Yes, sir.
People can't. Young folks don't have any control over who the parents are. They don't have any control over a lot of things in life, but you do have control of what you want to do with your life, where you want to go to school, what you want to do with yourself, what kind of work you want to do. And I admire you. I commend you. I graduated from Talladega High School, and I've been to Alabama, University of Alabama. I had an opportunity to attend Talladega College, Jacksonville, Jefferson State, Gaston State, LSU School of Banking. So I've been thrown out of more schools. No, that's not really true. But you can, and I worked, regular job, married, had one son, but I still got my education. You can achieve it if you set your head to do it.
Yes, sir.
And you're proving this.
Yes, sir.
When did you decide, I know you said you wanted to go in service because your dad retired military. What really enticed you to get involved in and maybe making a career? And you may not make a career, but right now you lean in that way.
The endless possibilities. There's so many things that are open to me now. And if I went to normal school, I'm just not sure exactly what I would be doing at this point versus what I'm doing now.
Did you have any other schools that you had looked at a possibility of going to in case you didn't get into the Navy?
I applied to Alabama, Auburn, Tuskegee.
All good schools.
A lot of different schools. UAB. I applied to a lot of schools, but.
What you said the Navy recruiter, he encouraged you to apply for a naval appointment.
Yes, sir.
He saw in you what he knew was there. Knew you had the ability, the capability to achieve, and he gave you some good advice.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever have any apprehension about trying to go to the Naval Academy?
I had no clue. I honestly didn't know what the Naval Academy was when my teacher first introduced it to me. I had no clue that it was even there. I didn't realize how big it was. I didn't realize how big an appointment to the Naval Academy was. I think it was plebe year, my first year at the school was half over before I realized you're at the Naval Academy. Like this is a big deal. And I don't know when that it just happened. It just dawned on me that this is
you're one of
a lot
few.
Bigger than you.
I don't know how many actually go. Attend the academy every year. I don't know what the numbers are. I've not done any research on it. But I don't know of. I'm sure there may be some others in Talladega County, in our area, that has gone to the academy. I can't think of one right offhand. We've had a young man that went to the Army. I can't think of what's the Army Academy. I can't. Anyway.
West Point.
West Point, yeah, from high school, Talladega High School, went to Naval West Point. But to be chosen is quite an honor.
Yes, sir.
It's a plus for you. Well, I don't really know how it's good for you and it's good for your family. The way you have been raised and the way you've been brought up, it speaks well for you. And you will do well in whatever you achieve, whatever you want to do, you'll achieve and you'll do well with it.
Thank you.
Let's talk about, let's digress just a moment before we get more on the Navy thing. A lot of things are going on at the high school that I think you've been talking to folks while you're home on leave.
I talked to Dr. Darius Williams.
He's the new principal.
Yeah, he also goes to my church.
Bellevue Baptist.
Bellevue Baptist, sure.
Now, Reverend Timothy Caldwell.
Yes, sir.
I told him one day, I used to go over a lot, different services. And I was there one Sunday, or one service when he preached. And after the service was over, I said, Brother Timothy, I said, I can't find nowhere in the Bible that you preach from Genesis to Revelations in one sermon. I said, they do allow you to break it into segments.
It's an awesome word.
He's a good preacher.
Yes, sir.
He's a deep preacher.
Yes, sir.
And he's a long-winded preacher.
Just
No, he's not any longer-winded than some I've been with. But he's, I like Reverend Caldwell. He's going to be on my show a little later on. And the ribbon cutting, or whatever we're going to have for the new edition, is going to be hopefully in January or sometime in February maybe.
Yes, sir.
You going to get to come home for that?
I wish, but
Can't get a weekend leave, or
probably not.
they don't call it leave in the Navy, do they?
Yes, sir.
It's leave, okay.
But I probably won't be back till summertime.
Anytime you're home, I want you to understand, you're supposed to be on this program.
Yes, sir.
Anytime you're in town, if I find out you're in town and you didn't call me and be on this program, I may have to pour some influence on somebody. No. Let's talk about the high school. What's going on there?
In November at Talladega High School, they had college application week when 97% of the seniors applied to go to college, which is a
That's great.
nice, good percentage.
97%.
In October, the robotics team competed at Talladega Superspeedway and won first place. They also continued and went to Auburn University on December the 12th, where they placed 12th out of 53 people, or
53
groups.
groups, so, yeah.
The JROTC also sent 157 care packages to Afghanistan. And they also had a breast cancer awareness fundraiser where 350 people participated.
Awesome.
And that's all in one semester.
And it's all coming to Talladega High School folks.
Yes, sir.
See, that's just, it's more indication that some folks don't know what they're talking about when they say that you can't get a good education and you're not involved. Yeah, we have problems in the school, just like do any school.
But every school has problems.
Every school has some problems. Every town has some problems, but you can't paint a broad brush on everybody because somebody messes up out there.
Yes, sir.
It's, I'm proud of Talladega High School. I went to school there, my wife went to school there, my son went to school there, granddaughter went to school there, and we've always been well pleased with the school system.
Yes, sir.
And I think you've got a superintendent there now, Dr. King. I understand she's doing an awesome job as a leader of the school system. I think Dr. Williams is going to do a good job as principal of high school.
Yes, sir.
But he is a member of Bellevue Baptist Church. You and Mr. Stanley and Ms. Wanda Scales are members there.
Yes, sir.
Good tithe-paying members.
Yes, sir.
Reverend Caldwell throw them out if they don't pay tithe. No. Let's talk a little bit about your Stanley. He was a high school graduate.
Yes, sir.
Talladega High School graduate.
Talladega High School.
And he was drafted to the Seattle Mariners.
Yes, sir.
I can't hardly say it.
Straight right from high school.
That's football.
Baseball.
Baseball, that's right. How long did he stay with the Mariners? Remember?
For 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah. And now he's working in the community he's my brother's basketball coach. He's my brother's basketball, football, whatever coach my brother needs at this time. He's on it.
He's it.
Yes, sir.
I've talked to Mr. Stanley about being on our program. He wanted to talk about maybe a mentor program or working with the children in the community. And I think this is great. And at some point in time, we want to get together and talk about what he would love to see done. Your mother, Ms. Wanda Scales, works at AIDB.
Yes, sir.
She's been a teacher for many years. Forever.
22 years.
22 years. And at AIDB about 8 years.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? She works at the Helen Keller School. Your dad, Stanley, works at Precision Strip.
Yes, sir.
You got brothers and sisters, they're all going to Talladega High School system or school system.
Yes, sir.
Are they going to be in the Navy too?
Well, one wants to go to the Navy. Another one of my sisters wants to go to the Air Force, which that's our right.
Are you threatening to disown her if she goes there for?
Only during football season. But other than that, the Air Force would be a good.
I didn't give them, they paid me $7, $8 a month. 6 years in the service. No, let's see, whatever. 6 years. 3.5 active duty and 2.5 reserve and National Guard time. But I didn't like sleeping on the ground. At least with the Navy, you've always got your bed with you, I guess, if you're on a ship.
Unless you have to swim to it.
If you get ground duty, you don't have your bed. Well, I guess you do. But they say when you're on the ship or in a submarine, you always got your bed and your kitchen with you.
Oh yeah, I haven't been on a submarine yet, but I would think so. It's a little nerve-wracking, I think, to think about being in it right now.
Let's talk a little bit about when you signed up for the Navy, when you got your appointment at the Naval Academy, and you got to wherever you was, and these guys said they're going to be your mama and daddy and your grandpa and all. How did you decide that you wanted to be a traveler cheerleader?
Well, I cheered a lot in high school. I cheered in middle school. But one thing our commandant, which is like our principal maybe, he always says every midshipman is a student athlete, because that's one of your obligations. You have to play a sport. You have to keep physically fit. And at the end of training, we get to go and explore different sports from 4 to 6 every day. And I went straight to cheer. And after tryouts and...
How many was there cheering or trying out? You remember offhand?
I don't remember. It was quite a few of us. Quite a few. But probably not as many as a normal college, just because there's so many different sports available at our school.
But you tried out for cheerleader and got picked.
Yes, sir.
How many cheerleaders? 10 on the team? 12?
We have up to 50.
50?
Yes, sir.
At one time? I mean, everybody out there together?
Yes, sir. Well, we're split on different halves of the field, but
okay.
50 total cheerleaders.
And once you're chosen as a cheerleader, you cheer for the basketball and the football?
Yes, sir.
That's not one group does it one season, one group does it next season?
No, sir. You try out every spring.
I've tried every year.
Yes, sir.
Is it a normal trend that once you get on the team, you normally get to stay there for the whole time? Not written in sand, but it's...
It depends. It depends. Your skill level has to be progressing.
Grade level?
Yeah, grade level has to be maintained. If your grades are slipping in any way, you can't cheer it. It starts off you can't cheer at games, then you can't come to practices all week, and then eventually you have to sit out until you fix it.
What is the for the young folks that are watching you that is thinking about going into service of some kind? What would you say to them going about choosing a service, other than talking to the recruiters and trying to find out all you can about it?
I would say make sure that that's what you want to do. You have to be ready for that lifestyle change. But I would say if it's for you, it's a great way to start a career. It's a great way to get out on your own, and it would be a great choice for a career.
Good way to achieve a good education.
Yes, sir.
If you can't afford college, and you you join the Navy or any branch of service, then you be paid to go to school.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of discipline. I guess it's the same. I know how it was when I was in the Army. It was
a lot of discipline. And a lot of rules you won't understand, and it takes a while.
They call it good training.
Yes, sir.
This is good for you. So, trust me.
Yes,
down
sir.
the line, this would be good for you.
And it's hard. It's hard to listen to that and believe it in the beginning, but.
Like when Mama gives you a whooping, she says, "It's hurting me worse than it is you."
And you're like, "No, it can't. This can't be true." But it's great. It's fun.
I'm proud as the mayor of the town. I'm proud and I'm honored that you are a citizen of Talladega and that you're doing great. You represent Talladega every time you're wherever you are, whether it be cheerleading or whether it be representing the Navy and whatever. You are a face for Talladega. You are representative of Talladega.
Thank
And
you.
how you act and how you carry yourself speaks well for the city, speaks well for the Navy, and it certainly speaks well for your family. What you got through the rough part of the Navy, basic, I guess you would say. You're in schooling.
Yes, sir.
What are you studying?
Chemistry. Chemistry is my main focus, but all of us at the Naval Academy all have to take engineering courses as well.
Learn how to drive a train. Oh, engineer course. Oh, no, that's not driving a train. You have to learn X, Y equals Z and U minus X.
Oh yeah, calculus 1 through 3.
Well, how
God
long?
bless the math majors.
What will you do? You're in your third quarter?
Third semester.
Third semester.
Oh, I just finished my third semester.
So you got about 3 more years, roughly 3.5 more years.
2.5.
2.5 more years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will get your officer bars, or
Yes,
officer,
sir.
whatever they call it in the Navy.
I get to be ensign Stockdale.
And then you can rant and rave at all the new guys and women coming in. You can.
Well, that's kind of already started. Soon as your first year's up, you go from being the follower to the mentor and the leader. So.
And all those guys that gave you fits, you take it out on this new bunch that comes through. And they had nothing to do with the way you was treated, but you get even with them because they just happen to be there.
Not get even, train them.
Oh, okay. That's when it comes in the good training part.
Yes, sir.
What when you finish your schooling and you get your officer's status, what will you be doing then? I understand you want to be a doctor?
Yes, sir.
Medical
So
field.
I'm hopefully going to service select med corps and attend. I would like to attend Vanderbilt University afterwards, but so either go med corps or I could. Right now, everything's open to me, so I can service select.
Will the Navy pay you to go to these various schools if you stay in the Navy, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It'll lengthen my commitment, but I mean that's.
But you're being paid to do it, so
Yes, sir.
that's great.
But right now, everything's open. I could go Marine, anything from Marine Corps to surface warfare to aviation. Med Corps is my first choice. Naval flight officer is on the table, but I think surface warfare is my second choice at this time. So, go drive a ship.
Go drive. I just can't imagine this little woman here driving a submarine. We got about a minute or thereabouts. Are you planning on staying with the Navy, or are you thinking about jumping ship and going to the Marines, or?
I'm thinking staying Navy right now. But I mean, every week I change, so
Everything is open for you.
everything is open.
That's great. Eryn, I can't thank you enough for who you are and how you represent our city, how you represent yourself. And as I said earlier, anytime you're in town, we want you on our program and bring us up to date on what's going on. What, I guess we've covered anything you can think of we have not covered that you'd like to?
No, sir. That's it.
Just a note to tell the young ones to stay in school and get a good education.
Stay in school. Get a good education.
A lot of our young ones nowadays don't respect authority. They resent authority. They resent discipline.
But discipline's really important, I think. Whatever career choice you want to make, you don't start at the top. So discipline is important.
Our time is up. We appreciate you tuning in to It's Talladega. Tune in again next week for another edition of It's Talladega. Thank you, Miss Eryn.
Thanks for having me.
Best of luck to you.